hockey double. Last night, they added the playoff trophy to the Elite League title they won last month. Now, they did it by beating old rivals Nottingham Panthers in the final at the National Ice Arena in Nottingham. Jared Evans gave them the lead early in the second period. The Panthers equalised, but almost immediately the Steelers were back in front through Kirk Dewell. That's the way it stayed. Sweet revenge after the Panthers beat them recently in the Challenge Cup final.
Maybe in a funny way, losing the Challenge Cup helped us win the playoffs because it got us, in a way, refocused and hungrier. You know, I think we felt what it was like to lose, and we didn't want that feeling again.
That's the sports.
Completes the double for the Steelers after they secured the league title. Well, on to Super League.
This is the National Ice Centre in Nottingham. 4 teams, 1 goal. This is the Elite Ice Hockey League playoff finals. Hello, I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Welcome to the big final here in Nottingham. The Sheffield Steelers take on the Nottingham Panthers. They've been playing hockey for 7 months now. They've had 61 games in the league and the playoffs. It's all down to 60 minutes. Bobes, there are no secrets between these two teams.
Absolutely none whatsoever. The Sheffield Steelers quite convincingly won the league. The Nottingham Panthers were second. And in the Challenge Cup final, the Nottingham Panthers bounced back. They won that over the Sheffield Steelers with a 3-2 finish. These teams know each other very well. They've faced each other 10 times this year. The Sheffield Steelers have won 5 of those games. A lot of the players know each other. It's a local rival. There'll be a huge crowd on board today, and it's going to be a battle right from the start of the face-off.
What about the atmosphere in this building, and what about the home ice advantage for Nottingham Panthers?
I don't really think there'll be home ice advantage. The teams are close enough together. Sheffield haven't traveled very far to be here. These players have played here many times before, and it's all down to the day. The right bounce, the right play, everything going your way, and it's going to be down to 60 minutes of hockey, like you said.
Well, to get here, they had to go through the semifinals first. Let's take a look at the highlights with Daniel Routledge.
The biggest weekend of the hockey season got underway with the traditional ceremonial face-off. A packed house at the National Ice Centre was certainly in good voice in anticipation of the action. The Devils fans came with plenty of hope that they could upset the league-winning Steelers. Cardiff in red was soon on the defensive as Mark Dutiem let fly, but Jason Cugnet beat the shot away and Eric Anderson missed with the rebound. 13 minutes into the first period and Ron Shudra brings the puck forward for the Steelers. His slap shot from the blue line is too much for Cugnet to handle, and Mark Lefebvre was quickest to the loose puck to give Sheffield a 1-0 lead. Let's have another look. Cugnet probably will feel he should have done better with that. Lefebvre left with the easy, unassisted goal. Dave Whistle's side were a goal behind at the end of the first period. Into the second, and Cardiff had a good chance to tie the game when a mistake by Kirk Dewall gave Phil Hill the puck right in front. Hill flashed it across the goal, but Neil Francis couldn't get his stick on it to tap it home. Steelers back on the attack, and a shot from Joel Irving caused panic in the Cardiff defence, but Cugnet stood up to everything thrown at him. On a Cardiff breakaway, Ivan Michulik has a chance to level things, but Christian Bronsard got just enough stick on it to force the puck wide. The Devils were still pushing for an equaliser when Dennis Maxwell found some space in front, but once again Bronsard came up with a fine save to deny him, and Sheffield took a 1-0 lead into the final period. Some sloppy defense work by the Devils almost allowed Sheffield to fire home a second. Coach Dave Whistle was less than impressed and didn't shy away from letting everybody in the NIC know. Eric Anderson's shot brought another good save from Cugnet, and with time starting to run out on the Devils' season, the emotions started to show. With the Devils boasting a man advantage, Whistle drew up a face-off play, but whatever was on the board, this wasn't it. Jason Becker failed to keep the puck in the zone and then lost out to Mike Perron in a race down the rink. Perron fired home to make it 2-0 Sheffield with only 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. Perron showed good strength to hold off Becker and score the short-handed goal low into the net. The Devils didn't give up, but nothing was going to get past Bronsted in this game. Sheffield Steelers then through to the final with a 2-0 victory over the Cardiff Devils.
All in all, both teams played pretty well. I think they really came out hard to us, and I think we were able to get a good forecheck, get the pucks in deep behind their net, and get a lot of pressure around their net. So I think overall we played the game we wanted to play. You know, we played the trap, we played the hits, the bodies. So I think overall we're pretty satisfied with the team and the way we played. But you know, we have a big day tomorrow, and we're just going to regroup, get our fluids back in our body, and go right back at it tomorrow.
We had some good chances, and it was just through hard work. And you know, it's too bad that we couldn't put at least one of them away back then. But really, our chances went when we had the 5-on-3 or 4-on-3 when they scored the shorthanded within about 10 seconds after a face-off. So, you know what? There's always ifs and ands, but I mean, I think we played really well. We worked extremely hard, and every player should be proud of the way they worked. And I know they're in that dressing room right now in a pretty, you know, sad state. They're sitting there sulking, and I don't think we should be sulking right now. I know we're not in the final tomorrow, but I think we played really well tonight, or as well as we could, and I think that, like I said earlier, the better team won.
The second semi-final saw the hometown Panthers taking on the Manchester Phoenix. Between the pipes for the Panthers was Nicholas Sundberg, whilst minding the net at the other end, 25-year-old Jamie Platt. Manchester made a dream start. Darcy Anderson's shot was followed up by captain George Awada, and the Phoenix led after only 61 seconds. Sundberg's save from Anderson fell straight into Awada's path, and he fired home into an empty net. The lead didn't last long, less than 4 minutes in fact. Phoenix couldn't clear the puck, and eventually John Craighead equalised for the Panthers. Mark Cadot and Callie Carlson credited with the assist. Manchester coach Paul Heavey was hoping his side could start the second period the way they had the first. But it was Nottingham who began to dominate the game. Mikko Corvinoro broke through to give Kim Alruz a shot at Platt, but the goalie denied him on this occasion. The Panthers weren't to be stopped for long though. Lee Ginman with a beautiful pass to David Clark to make it 2-1 Nottingham. Manchester tried to reply quickly, with Darcy Anderson looking for a way past Sundberg. He was crowded out by the goalie and Kristen Talbot, and Anderson ended up hurt in front of the goal and blocking his own teammate's shot. On a power play, Nottingham pressed for a third goal, and it came in similar fashion to the second. David Struck scoring off an assist from Clark and Ginman. All Struck had to do was get some stick on it as Clark whipped it across the goal. Into the third period, and Nottingham set about wrapping up the result in the first few minutes. Mark Cadot on the breakaway bore down on Platt. He shoots, he scores. Cadot with the unassisted goal, and Nottingham lead 4-1. 2 minutes later, and Manchester were on a power play trying to get back in it. But instead, they allowed another breakaway chance. This time, John Craighead took on Platt, and he rounded the goalie for his second goal of the game. Craighead shows great composure to finish off the breakaway and put his side firmly in command. Panthers fans were in dreamland as their side led by 5-1. The rout wasn't done, however. Still time for a hat-trick of hat-tricks, a third goal for Craighead, and a third assist each for Cadott and Ginman. Cadott to Ginman behind the net, and Craighead on hand to wrap up the victory. Nottingham into the final with a 6-1 win over Manchester.
I thought it was brilliant. Obviously, anytime you win a semi-final and put yourself into a final situation to win another cup, it's pretty hard to to find something wrong with the game. Even though Manchester did come out strong in the first period, and we feel that we weathered their storm early. And then as the jitters kind of settled in, and we realized we're just in another game with a team that we've dominated all year, we just pulled away. Yeah, well, anytime that you have an opportunity to score a hat-trick in a semi-final, it's a great individual, accomplishment. But at the same time, I got to give credit to the guys I'm playing with as well. We've been getting good chances, all year long, and I think it's imperative that in key games that you capitalize on your chances, because in some big games like our final tomorrow, you're not going to get a lot of good chances. So I think it's important that we capitalize on those.
It's going to be a good final. That's the two best teams in the league. And at the end of the day, there's a little bit difference in contrast. One probably has a little more skill. Sheffield probably has a little more grit. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a tight game. Probably be, one goal in it and maybe an empty net. And it can go either way. Goaltenders are going to play a big part. And I think the defensive game is going to play a big part. And, it's a good matchup, and it's going to be exciting hockey tomorrow.
Bopes, a very powerful performance there from the Nottingham Panthers.
Nottingham Panthers with strong offensive skills throughout their lineup. 6 goals. They dominated the Manchester Phoenix. Convincing 6-1 victory.
And a stingy performance, defensive performance from the Sheffield Steelers.
Stingy is exactly the word. The Sheffield Steelers only allowed 109 goals in 56 league games this year. Mike Blaisdell's got a finely tuned defensive unit out there, and they do not like to give the puck away, and they're strong in front of their own net.
It's going to be an interesting one. After the break, we're going to talk to the coaches, and the face-off will be next.
Physical is always physical with Nottingham and Sheffield, and more physical the better for us.
This week, or tonight, we're battling with the Panthers.
I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Steelers will win. Panthers are going to win. Sheffield. Panthers! Steelers!
Steelers. No worries.
Steelers. No problem.
Well, we've heard what the fans have to say. Let's hear from the coaches. Paul, congratulations on winning the Challenge Cup and getting to the final. You must be quite proud of the boys tonight.
Well, thank you. Yeah, very proud of our team. Not many people gave us a chance to win the Challenge Cup final, but we believed in ourselves and played very, very well and came up with a great result. It's something that we're all very proud of.
It's all more impressive when you think this is only your second year as a full-time coach at Nottingham. How difficult has it been to make the transition from player to coach?
On the hockey side, I don't find it that difficult. On the man management side, that's a little more difficult, dealing with players and learning, the differences between the players. But I think I've gotten through it quite well. And coaching is like anything else; it's a learning experience as you work.
This game tonight, it's always traditionally close when you play Sheffield. Do you see anything different happening tonight?
No, I think it's going to be a real defensive battle tonight. And we'll just have to wait and see, where the last shot goes in, because I think it's going to be another tough, tight game.
But do you think it'll be high scoring? You have guys who can put the puck in the net, and so do they.
Well, Sheffield play a real good defensive game. I can't see it being high scoring. We do have players who can score, but it's important for us not to open up the game too much and get ourselves caught out at the back. So I think both teams will play pretty safe and maybe wait till the third period to open things up a bit.
And physical?
Physical is always physical with Nottingham and Sheffield, and more physical the better for us.
And what about the home crowd? Do you feel that's an advantage for you?
Well, I don't really think it's a home crowd because you have fans from all over the country and it's pretty even. I kind of like a road atmosphere for our team because we play great on the road. So if the fans are cheering for Sheffield and not for us, well, that suits me just fine. You
got through the semi-final, but you lost Dudium, perhaps one of the best players in the league. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, in my mind, he was the best player in the league. He was leading scorer, and I think he's the best defensive forward in the league as well. But he got a stick in the eye with a minute to go, and we're not very happy about how it happened. A minute to go in the game, we're up 2-0, and off a face-off, a guy sticks him right in the eye with a stick. And we're going to look at the tapes, but it's nothing we can do. It's not going to affect what happens in this game coming up. So I'll concentrate on that next week. But this week or tonight, we're battling with the Panthers.
Coach of the Year for you again, 3rd year out of 4 years. How does that make you feel? And you're also in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Hockey Hall of Fame thing makes me feel older than I really am. But I have to be really happy with the selection and thank everyone involved with making those selections. And I have to thank my team. You don't see too many coaches of the year without a good hockey team. They've been a great team all year, very consistent, and hopefully we get this trophy now. Because I honestly feel we deserve it. We won the league comfortably, and we lost Duchem, so we're going to try to win for him.
So as you would expect, both coaches are confident. They're looking very relaxed. But Richard, how important to Sheffield is the loss of Mark Dudion?
It's a huge loss to the Sheffield lineup. Mark Dudion was the top point scorer in the league this year with 88 points. That included 7 power play goals, and he's one of the best penalty killers in the league. Mike Perron, Eric Anderson, Joel Irving, they'll probably change their roles a little bit. Mike Blaisdell will play around with Gerard Adams as well. He's a very versatile player and a good, strong two-way hockey player.
The Panthers are fit. They're coming off a big win in the semifinals. Who should we look for there?
Well, they've got a lot of offensive power. Nottingham have got Lee Ginman, Mark Cadott, and this John Craighead guy. He's rough, he's tough. He had a hat trick in the semifinals. He can do it all. They've got the experience of Mikko Koivuneuro and David Struch, who have played hockey to the highest level. It's a good lineup, that Nottingham Panther lineup.
The National Ice Centre was rocking as two of the powerhouses of British hockey meet in the biggest game of the season. It's the Sheffield Steelers against the Nottingham Panthers. Let's get over to Paul and Richard for the action.
The referee for tonight's game is Nigel Boniface, 32-year-old Canadian. Working on the lines, Marco Kunin from Holland, and Michael Hicks, a British linesman. So an international setup taking charge of this game. Sheffield Steelers playing from right to left. Nottingham putting the pressure on immediately. Shot right on the target. Bollybrook got in front of it. That bounces away. Driven back in quickly. And Ronsard comes out of his net to slow it down, and here we go. Bollybrook doubles back and gets it across the rink. Shudra's calling for it on the wrong side, but Bollybrook has to double back. Anderson circles up the middle and calls for it. It bounces off the boards. Anderson goes back, but the Steelers are having difficulty getting it out of the zone. Offside is the call. Bobick runs into trouble. Bobick with Salonen all over his tail. This is sloppy stuff from Sheffield. Now they get it together again. It's 1-on-2 situation. Shot from a sharp angle. Sundberg is there as Mike Perron let the shot go.
Mike Perron going down the right wing, and down the right wing in a hurry.
What we're seeing here from Sheffield, though, is 1-on-2, 1-on-3.
That's because they're going to make sure they're covered defensively. They will look to get a goal against the run of play. They're going to contain Nottingham to the best of their ability. And on the other side, Nottingham know they can't take too many chances. Let's not forget that Sheffield scored 214 goals in the league this year. They can put the puck in the net as well. And Nottingham don't want to overcommit themselves and give away a goal.
Right off the goaltender's stick, right from the face-off circle, banged away into neutral ice territory. Shudra, one of the oldest players on the ice, goes out there. Right in front of the cage. Irving got that across. Goaltender was equal to it. Nicholas Sundberg has had some difficult runs to contend with out there. 9:35 left on the first period. Still no score in this final hockey game between the Steelers from Sheffield and the Panthers from Nottingham. Not an empty seat in the building. Even all the executive boxes are packed.
There's a lot of emotion in this building, on the ice and off the ice. It's a huge crowd. The crowd is represented by a lot of different teams from all over the country. And these teams are doing great battle on the ice, and it's going to be a battle of who holds their nerve here. Shudra going to the net. It's good to see Ron Shudra still out there, Paul. 36 years old. He's now the all-time leading point scorer, and he's played the most games ever as a Sheffield Steeler. He's still going. The crowd loves him in Sheffield.
Irving again. Sharp angle shot. Goaltender's out. Couldn't hang on to it. Cadot now starts it up. 3-on-3 situation. Thrown into neutralized territory. Shot comes in. Blocker save on Ginman's slap shot. Again, we see a lot of giveaway passes in this first period, don't we?
Again, the reason for that is it's very close checking, especially between the blue line areas. Both teams know what they want to do defensively, and it's important that the other team doesn't try to take too many offensive chances.
Anderson now with 10 seconds. Anderson lets a shot go. Great save. Off the blocker upstairs. 4 seconds left on the period. That could have been the first goal of the game.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. If the play breaks down and the other team starts going into an offensive rush, the team on the defense has got to make sure they've got players back in numbers.
Mike Blaisdell, one of the most successful coaches in the history of the game, looking for, or he's already picked up 12 trophies in 11 years, and he's looking for number 13. Little tip out, and the Steelers now with Perron. Perron dances one way, it goes the other. Perron goes in the corner, Adams goes out front, big hit into the plexi. Carlson is all over him like a rash. Sheffield now, Perron with his back to the net. Perron drops it back, a chance. Bullybrook, will he get the shot away? Took a lot of time, the tip is there. Adams gets first blood with less than a minute gone on the period.
Wide open in front of the net, Gerard Adams. I don't think he could believe his luck. It was a nice deflection, a very nice deflection, but boy, he had a lot of time in front of the net. Nobody there for the Nottingham defense. A breakdown, and they pay for it. A shot from the point for Bolingbrook right on the ice. A good tip by Adams. Now we've got a score, and the crowd waking up in a hurry.
Thompson fires it around the goal. Goaltender couldn't slow it down. Wasn't stopped on the far side of the rink. Stanchuk struggled with it. A chance now. Shot coming. Goaltender made a good save. Again, goaltender has to clear it away as Irvin was buzzing right in there. Let the shot go. Rebound came out. Perron along the boards. He's so deadly, so dangerous. Going in on the backhand. Can he get the shot away? Goaltender's down in the crease. Solo effort there.
Good individual effort by Perron. But again, Sheffield showing that they're hungrier at the start of this period.
Both teams had 3 players in the top 10 in scoring. Cadot, Craighead, and Ulrus for the Panthers. Judium, Anderson, and Perron for the Steelers. So you got 6 out of 10 on 2 teams there. A lot of clutching and grabbing. Still no call from the referee as Ulrus picks it up on the far side. Bolingbrook couldn't get it. Lake couldn't get it. Rink-wide pass. That's a trip. That'll be the first call of the hockey game. First penalty of the hockey game, and this will bring on the power play.
And that's one of the things Mike Blaisdell will not be happy with. It's Ben Bliss, the young Brit. He knows he has an assignment. He's to play a good defensive shift. But that's kind of a senseless penalty, just to take a whack at a guy and not keep the legs going and get the position on the body where you're angling the man off. You're on the defensive side of the puck. A little slight lapse there mentally. He takes the tripping penalty, and now Nottingham will have the first power play opportunity of this game.
Anderson forechecking for the Steelers. 9:14 now left on the period. Panthers struggling to get something going here.
And it's Brent Bobbitt causing problems for Sheffield. He is an excellent penalty killer. He knows what to do out there, and he'll give 100% every shift he's on the ice.
Thompson got it over to the far side. A chance now for Ginman on the hash marks. Looks for places to go. Tries to get it back. Does the shot is wide of the target. Cadot picks it up. Cadot in the corner is hooked. There's going to be another penalty.
Darling got the stick in there. High sticking is the call. That's going to be trouble.
Well, whether it's accidental or not, it's a penalty. No question about it. Boulderbrook going to the penalty box. The crowd, mixed emotions here. The Nottingham supporters happy to have a two-man advantage. Sheffield still have 1 minute and 20 seconds to serve on Ben Bliss's penalty. This is a great opportunity now for Nottingham with a 5-on-3 advantage.
All important face-off, but there's so much time for the Panthers to set it up. That comes back nicely. Adams can't get it out of the zone. You watch, the Steelers will set up a triangle. A chance now as they try to get the shot from the open side. If they can break it down, upstairs. Struch let the shot go. Thompson on the far side, floats in. Another shot, the fan on the open net is there. Cadot! Power play goal.
Cadot ties it up. Struch didn't get it all on the shot, but it worked out to the Panthers' advantage as the shot was going wide of the net. It was right onto the stick of Mark Cadot, and that's a power play goal to bring Nottingham back on level terms.
Both teams setting into position. One-timer comes in, goaltender, rebound is right out front. Carlson tried to get a shot away. Loose puck is cleared away. Lots of rebounds coming out into the slot area. Again, the Panthers back on the attack. Long pass up onto the wing. Irving goes after his man. Loose puck is there for Adams. Adams drags it back in behind the net. It's fired away. That goes high, bounces off the boards in front of the Panthers net. Struch rams it back into the zone. Goaltender this time gets on it and leaves it for Adams. Adams tries to bring it out, does, and Anderson clears it down the ice.
Sheffield taking the pressure off, getting fresh penalty killers out. There's still 32 seconds left in this penalty.
7:14 left on the period. This pace has picked up. This has got the fans on the edge of their seats. Coming back on the attack, Ginman is hooked by Lefebvre. Cadot floats it across the ice. Shudra goes after his man and eventually gets an opening and clears it down. Carlson backpedals with 11 seconds on the power play. A little flick there, and this will fall nicely as the goaltender gets it and does a sensible thing, clears it down the ice, and that kills off the penalty. Boulderbrook is back on the ice. Ginman tries to find a place to go. He's taken out of the play by DeWall. Cadot trying to look for places to go on the left-hand side. This breaks nicely on the far side. Big shot by Bobick. Goaltender came out nicely to the top of the crease and cut down the angle. No rebound.
Not from lack of trying. Boulderbrook getting in there. He was fresh out of the penalty box, and he was digging potatoes down there around the crease area. Nottingham defense back in a hurry to get him away from the goaltender. Good opportunity as Bobick just laid it off the boards, raced down the ice, got a good shot off.
Face off to the right of the goaltender as he looks down the ice. Perron and Struch do battle in the face-off circle. Perron again wins it. Shot! 10! Kirk DeWall let it go, and Sundberg must have been screened on that.
It was just a wrist shot from the point, but it doesn't matter if the goaltender can't see it. You get the shot off, and the glory is there for Sheffield. This will shut the crowd up again. The Sheffield fans are on their feet. Perron continues to impress on face-offs. Right off the draw, the puck back to the point. DeWall not taking the big wind-up or getting all of it, just directing it at the net. It finds the corner. 2-1 for the Sheffield Steelers and on top of the Nottingham Panthers.
Again, we see the importance of winning the face-off. Nottingham through neutral ice territory. Little tip forward as Thompson got a piece of that. Bliss goes in hard. Bliss back behind the net, being shadowed. The wraparound, there's no one there to pick it up. Lots of black shirts and eventually cleared down the ice. And the icing whistle blows with 5:56 remaining on this second period, 2-1, Steelers leading the Panthers, and this game surely has come alive now. This is what the fans came to see, and they're not being disappointed.
Sheffield Steelers supporters on their feet, clapping, singing. They are a good bunch of supporters, and the same can go for the Nottingham Panther people. They've been around a long time, they know their hockey, and they love it.
Sheffield happy just to dump it out of the zone. Somehow Sheffield hung on to that, and there's a big hook there on Lake as he was spun around, and then he went after Struch. No call from the official. Lake was strung around, but it's a 2-on-3 situation now. Ginman drops it back. Moran slams on the brakes, gets a second bite of the cherry, flips it over, and the shot comes in wide of the target. Moran did the proper thing out there, got it over to Ulrus, but he couldn't bury it. Coivinaro drags that back. Shot comes in off the boards, no one in to pick it up, and the Steelers are allowed to walk out. Shudra pops it in the zone. Lake goes one way, the puck goes the other. Kadot looks for an opening, long pass up the middle. Ulrus couldn't contain it. Back on to Ellis's stick. Ellis looks for Bobic. Shot right on the target. Bobic was moving in quickly from the far side. They have a nice understanding, those two.
That was a good move from young Steve Ellis, 21-year-old Canadian who's come over having played junior hockey in Niagara Falls last year. He took that shot using Carlson as a pretty nice screen as well. He got the shot off quickly. On his toes was Nicholas Sundberg in the Nottingham net, and he held on. Because like you said, Paul, out of the corner of his eye, he had to see Bobic flying in there looking for a tip or a rebound.
Ginman controls that, circles, and comes right back into the action. Time counting down. Darling works it up with 25 seconds. Darling finds an opening and just slides it along the ice. Carlson is there being shadowed by Perron. Bobbling puck comes into neutral ice territory and eventually smacked back in. Neither team wants to do much with it. Talbert took a hit but frees himself up to get to the far side of the rink. A chance now as Nottingham come up, shot right on the target. Ginman.
Great skills from Ginman, pulling that pass out of his skates, working the puck to the outside, taking a good shot, and once again Christian Bronsard had to be on his toes in the Sheffield net. That shot got to him in a hurry.
The Steelers were still holding a slender advantage, but the Panthers were desperately trying to find a way back into the game as we head into the final 20 minutes of the season.
Struch in the face-off circle. That bounces to the top of the circle as Lake fell down, tried to get it. Stanchuk took the shot. Irving taps it off the board. Lake again couldn't get a stick on it. And eventually Sheffield get it over the blue line. Just barely. It's flipped right back in again. Sheffield struggling at this moment in time with Darling circling the net. Darling looking for someone to pass to. Finds Lake. He can't control it but gets a good bounce off the pads. Lake pops it in the corner intelligently. Steelers now working it down deep. Shot comes up high, gloved down by the goaltender. Lefebvre is right in there working nicely with Lake and Bliss. Eventually a quick change and the Steelers get fresh legs out on the ice. Coivinaro looks for an opening, can't get by Ellis, but Ellis can't get it over the blue line. Sheffield with Bolybook rattles that off the plexi to the far side. Talbert, his shot is deflected away. One or two hooks out there. No call from the officials as Carlson goes back and takes it into his own zone. 12:28 remaining on the hockey game. Shot right on the target. Salonen let that go. Goaltender got the pad on it. It was from way out, but it was directed right at the net. A high flip into the Panther zone. 8:57 left on the period. A chance now for Kadot. Kadot goes in on the backhand, gets on the forehand as he's chopped out of the play. Carlson couldn't trap that at the blue line.
Kadot fresh out of the penalty box. Boy, he put a nice burst of speed and a couple of good moves on there. He nearly had the tying goal for Nottingham.
Carlson intelligently up. Shot, great save. Talbert let it go And that is a big save by Bronsard.
Boy, Tauber burnt Shudra right at the blue line, walked right in on the net. Good glove save by the Sheffield goaltender, Christian Bronsard.
A chance now for Adams. Adams looks around, has nowhere to go, and so just slides it in. Both teams changing on the fly. Thompson works it up, gets away from Lake. Thompson with a burst of speed, hits the blue, goes to the top of the circle, tries to circle it back in. Granaro is right there. That tipped away from the top of the circle. A chance now. The shot. Stanchuk let it go, and it bobbles out. And we have a stoppage in play.
Steelers goalie Christian Bronsard continues to keep the Panthers at bay, but can Sheffield hold on? Find out after the break. Welcome back to the playoff final. Sheffield lead Nottingham 2-1 in the third period.
Sundberg says, why no icing? And both teams are back at full strength. Shot right on the target, and the goaltender made the save, and the players come together. Salonen let the shot go. It wasn't very difficult, but he had to get the edge of the pad on it, made the save, and whoa, next they come together, they fight.
And Paul, with 5:23 left in this game, a one-goal difference. You can expect to see that on every single play from now on. Once the save is made, there's going to be action and bodies flying around.
Thompson in the corner. That bobbles back as far as the blue line. Kept in nicely by Ginman. Ginman goes to the far side. Anderson is on his case. Ginman stays with it. Cadotte now circles around. This is good hockey, both players. And that's an offside. Good call from the official. It was only about an inch there, but Cadotte took it over and then brought it back.
British linesman Michael Hicks right on the play there. You can see the puck had just come out over the blue line. A good call.
Cadotte was winding things up. They had the pressure, they had the momentum. Had he been able to keep it in the zone, it might have been a different story. But right now, it's Steelers 2, Panthers 1, with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on this hockey game. 45 seconds left on the coincidental penalties, and the Steelers have called a timeout.
Mike Blaisdell wants 30 seconds just to talk things over, regroup, reorganize everything, make sure that everybody understands what their assignment is every time they step on the ice. With the 4-on-4, even back to 5-on-5, when that happens after 45 seconds here are served by these two guys in the box, you have to be careful for the picks. A guy wheeling with the puck, one pick set up, and it gives him that 1 or 2 extra steps, and you're going to see something happen.
Folks, British ice hockey has come a long way from the days back in the 80s and early 90s when the scores used to be up into double figures. Now it's more intelligent hockey, better coaching, that's for sure, and they're teaching the players properly when they come here.
Well, you've got better balanced lineups. You have deeper benches, you've got more guys getting ice time, and the strength from team to team is a lot tighter now.
Face-off just outside the Steelers zone. Koivunaaro unable to take it from Perron. That has been one of the keys in this hockey game. The face-off wins by the Sheffield Steelers. Bobbling puck back behind the net. Big hit is Tauber, goes on top of his man. The puck goes under bodies, and it's immediately whistled down by Nigel Boniface. No score in this hockey game in the first period, but then it all erupted in the second. Adams and DeWall for Sheffield. Cadotte on a power play, actually a 5-on-3. Made it 2-1 for Nottingham, and so far in this period it's been Nottingham applying the pressure. They've been unable to crack that goal at the other end of the rink. DeWall, who's been steady, pops it into the corner. Big hit in the corner. Now we have another stoppage in play. DeWall is down, and he looks to be in pain.
Well, there were guys crossing over each other and a couple bodies already against the boards. Mark Cadotte got involved in the play, very slowly back up onto his feet is Kurt DeWall. Now the referee Boniface has gone over to the penalty box. I don't know if the linesman helped him make that call or not. but Cadot's being given a penalty. Boniface originally had not indicated a penalty.
Feeds it up to Lefebvre. Lefebvre races in the corner. Stanchuk hits him. Takes him out of the play. Ginman doubles back. Stanchuk rifles that around the boards. It bounces out front. Shot just wide of the target. Adams let it fly. He had more time than he actually thought he did.
Well, he couldn't believe the puck came tooting the way that it did. He just turned around and drilled it at the net. Well, now with 4 seconds left, if Sheffield do pick up the puck, they're just going to be desperate to leg it out of the zone. They won't worry about an icing call here because there won't be enough time to bring the face-off back to the other end of the ice.
Struch against Perron. Stuck in the middle. The shot goes off the skate. Another shot. A chance for another. That misses the net. And there goes the buzzer to win the hockey game. The Sheffield Steelers are the champions.
A 2-1 victory. Mike Blaisdell running out onto the ice, followed by Mark Dudium, the star who was injured and not able to play in today's game.
That shot barely missing has given the Steelers the title. A 2-1 scoreline over the Panthers. Adams scored first. Cadot tied it up on the power play, and then DeWall came back all in the second period. And that's the way it stands after 60 minutes of hockey. You're looking at the champions right there. Mike Blaisdell going over to the fans, congratulating them, congratulating his teammates. They're happy. They've done it again. Dion Darling, the captain of the Sheffield Steelers, come forward to collect the trophy from Eamon Comprie, the chairman of the league, and Andy French, the director of hockey for the Elite Ice Hockey League. What a job they've done this year, and what a job the Sheffield Steelers did tonight. Your team is very disciplined. You didn't allow breakaways. You didn't allow quality shots on goal for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, our guys have been, this has been the easiest team I've ever coached. They just stick to what we try to tell them to do, and they're very unselfish. They're not looking for points. They're never, you never see one of my guys go to the ref after to try to beg for an assist. Never. We don't allow that on our team. The players all lifted the trophy together, not the captain. It's not his job to lift the trophy. It's all the players that put in the effort, and I think that's been the philosophy of us all year. We play as a team, and we don't have any real superstars, but we sure play as a team.
Jared Adams, congratulations on the victory and congratulations on winning man of the match.
Thank you very much. I think it's really overestimated for me to get man of the match. I think we had a team all year who played together, and it was night in, night out, different guy, and I just got lucky tonight, and it was my night, but it was a great team victory for everybody involved.
Kevin, and make the presentation.
Well done. Congratulations. What a fantastic weekend it's been for ice hockey, for the fans, and certainly for ice hockey throughout the UK. It's been an absolutely brilliant weekend, and it's capped it off with a great performance by the Sheffield Steelers. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Paul, commiserations. That was a tough one to lose, wasn't it? It was so close.
Yeah, it's always tough when you lose. I thought we played a good game. You know, we worked hard. We really put them under a lot of pressure in the third period. You know, they sat back with 5 guys on their blue line, and we had to get pucks in, and we did. We did what we had to. We had possession. We had some chances. Give them credit. They played really well defensively.
Aside from the score, if you could change anything, what would you do that you set out to do at the beginning of the game?
I don't know. I thought we were playing very well. It was pretty even. Well, it was even all night, really. I mean, I think they got the first goal, and, you know, obviously we were chasing a lot, and then, you know, we tied the game, came up with a big power play goal, and then they snuck one off a face-off. And, you know, you always second guess yourself. Did you have the right guys out there at the time and all that? I had my best face-off guy out there, you know, who wins about 75% of his face-offs, and you know, this time one got away from him. So, you know, you always second guess yourself as a coach. There's no question about that.
Was there a point in the game when you knew the game was yours?
When the final hooter, I have to tell you the truth, it was never, you know, I always felt comfortable that we were playing the way we wanted. I was just hoping to get another goal. Like, I thought, oh, you know, it's 2-1, or it's 1-0 forever, it seemed. And then when they tied it up, you know, we didn't panic. We just got right back, and then we got the goal right away. And then that felt good. I mean, I saw their heads go down a bit. And then we just continued with our game tactics, and that was to just nullify their key players from getting any speed in the neutral zone. And then we were physical. Like, we threw some good body checks tonight. I saw a few of those guys go down hard, and that was part of it as well. We hit them hard tonight, and, you know, I mean, our guys, they did a great job, and we stayed out of the penalty box for the most part.
What about next year? Are you coming back?
I don't know. You know, I'm going to talk to the team again in the next week. I'm not really in a panic right now. You know, our family, we love Sheffield, and you know, we're going to hear what they have to say, and you know, we've been there, and if I do come back, it'll be, you know, I'll still have the same hunger I always have, because I just love, you know, having success like this. So the fans can be relaxed. I'm going to do my best to get another good team together.
So the Sheffield Steelers are the playoff champions of the brand new Elite Ice Hockey League. I enjoyed it. I know everyone in the building enjoyed it. And Bobes, I know you enjoyed it because I saw your face. You were smiling from the very first face-off.
I was. I had a good time today. I think everybody in the building enjoyed themselves. It was a good day for British ice hockey. And I think the Elite League have shown that they're structured, they're organized, and there's a bright future ahead for the sport.
Excellent. It was a great night. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, from Richard Beaupre and myself, Paul Ferguson, bye for now.
This is what the fans came to see, and they're not being disappointed. Will they get the shot away? Took a lot of time. The tip is there. Adam. And this game surely has come alive now. Shot, the fan on it, open net is there, Cadot, power play goal. New battle in the face-off circle, Perron again wins it, shot, 10!